All right, test 1 2 3, test 1 2 3. Hope you guys are all doing okay. Loki says hello. Loki, come here. Oh, he sees a treat right here, and that's basically what he wants. All right, well, Loki, come over here. There you go. You guys can see hello to Loki before he goes and takes the treats and run off. Excuse me. Good. All right. All right. Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. Hey Alan, I'm happy to see you guys here. Hey STL, excuse me, STL coin. Hope you're doing well, my man. So a lot of stuff to talk about here today. I'm still not at 100% like peak ready to go as far as streaming, but I don't think this is going to necessarily take a toll on my health or anything. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. But if you guys didn't know, basically a few days ago I had this type of like pollen attack. I'm not entirely sure what to call it. Basically there was a lot of pollen one day, and this is what I was told by my what do you want to call them, the doctor at the clinic area that I went to. And basically my whole face and everything pretty much just scrunched up. They gave me some shots, which is good, some Benadryl. I got some whatever you want to call that type of stuff, prescriptions to go fill out. I haven't gotten the prescriptions yet, but I'm probably gonna pick them up later on tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, to be honest. And then that should get me back to being mellow, but both of my ears are kind of inflamed and swollen right now, so hopefully that'll be okay. I think I was pushing them a little bit too much and messing with them too much after they were like had the fluid in them, and so they basically both hurt right now. Besides that, my throat's good. It's actually been pretty good for the last few days. Nose is all good. You know, sinuses are good, so I'm pretty happy with the recovery so far. Basically the ears are kind of wonky, mostly the left ear here, but I'm hoping it goes down. Otherwise I'm gonna take some Tylenol or something like that. And hey Multistarker, happy to see you. Hey Wilder, happy to see you guys. I know a lot of stuff's been happening, and hey Kitchen Cartel, happy to see you, man. Well, let's just kind of dive into it here, at least for the next, you know, few things going on here. As far as the channel is concerned, you guys have probably noticed I've been putting out a lot more content today. I'm going to try to do that more and more and more, and I'm just going to try to blitz out as much content as possible. There is going to be a downside to this, and this is basically that you guys don't have to watch all of my content, so not all of my videos are going to be getting a lot of views, but I'm trying to figure out what people want to see, that type of stuff. Again, I do this every quarter here just to kind of see if anything's changed, depending on how many people come to view the streams and stuff like that. On the other hand, I have a few streams that are like anchored in place this week. One of them I think is going to be around 5 o'clock tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and then I think we also have one, if I can double check here, let me just see. I have to figure out which one it is. They're for PPI and CPI data. The CPI data, I know I'm having one stream in the afternoon, later in the evening. I might have one up there in the morning. The only reason that I might have it sometime in the morning or even early afternoon is because I'm going out to lunch with my grandparents. But that one isn't until the 10th, so I should be fine. So actually tomorrow should be fine. Yeah, Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock. So it'll be a 5 o'clock stream on Wednesday and a 12 o'clock stream on Thursday here. So those are only two streams I think are anchored in stone. I'm going to be having another stream here later on tonight. This one will probably go for about 2 hours. I'll do another 2-hour stream here. I need to like get some stuff from my ear because right now just, you know how you sleep on something funny and just like it's already sore but it hurts more because you slept on it? That's what's going on with my ear right now. But anyway, things overall still been pretty good. I'm putting out a lot more content there. I'm going to be looking for you guys for some advice to do some metaverse gaming. I'm a little bit hesitant about actually starting this just because of that GPU issue I'm having with my computer. I'm hoping that if I get another computer here sometime around the summertime, I can just play on that or something. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, this computer is still having issues. I opened up Cyberpunk the other day and bam, what do you call, it like my computer froze just off of opening Cyberpunk, which is crazy. And that's, you know, with all the software and stuff I run on here, like graphics software, editing software, streaming software, all that type of stuff, no problem. Games, I don't know why, there's a little bit of issues there. But anyway, let's hop on over here to Bitcoin, see what's going on. Actually, let me go over here to the other Bitcoin chart just so we can see what's actually happened. So first of all, let's go over here to the weekly chart. Basically, not much has been going on over the past few weeks. We're still kind of at that same level here. The good thing is we actually have a momentum going up again. Before we were kind of wondering, are we going to be going down? Are we going to be heading for a little bit of a larger move? I think we pulled out this trend line here, right? We hadn't come close. We can still come close to this one, don't get me wrong. this is going to be something important that we're going to be looking on as far as the weekly charts are concerned, especially if we go through a little pop and then we drop back down like this, where it's maybe a little bit of a pop, and then again, like I said, we have the halving coming up. That could lead to a lot more volatility. That could be a little bit of a just keep that on your charts, be patient with it, because there's always an opportunity for us to have a larger consolidation here for the summer and then have a larger move up during the springtime, the fall here. Okay, I'm not really thinking about that at this point in time, but just in case, keep it in the back of your heads. You always want to be prepared in case something bad happens, as we were over here with some of the dollar cost averaging. Now, as far as Bitcoin's concerned right now, you guys are probably pretty happy, as I said in the video earlier today. What you guys do right now really does depend on what you guys have been doing for the past few weeks. And some of you guys may have been doing one thing, two things, all three things. We're going to be, well, not all three things, but we're going to talk about that here in a second. I've been hydrating like crazy. All right, so here's what I would say right now for the majority of you guys that have been dollar cost averaging and nothing else. If you guys have been dollar cost averaging, you guys are pretty happy. If you guys have been dollar cost averaging for months and months and months, you guys aren't happy or unhappy. You guys are just kind of content with what you guys are seeing. If you guys joined our last dollar cost averaging strategy where we started buying stuff back up over here on March 7th, you can see we went up, we went down, up, down, kind of just a whole bunch of sideways action here. But ultimately, Bitcoin was going sideways. Altcoins were coming down quite a bit. So you guys are probably down quite a bit like I was during this little bit of a journey. I think like what, 3 to 4 days ago, I was down like 300 to 400 bucks. We'll see where I'm at right now, but you can tell that altcoins are coming down a much larger amount than Bitcoin was. Now, if you guys are dollar cost averaging, you guys are actually pretty content with what you guys are seeing right now. Bitcoin has officially broken out above this trend. The thing now is, are we going to continue this and have a larger breakout here sometime tomorrow? I would say if we're going to have a breakout, I think it would most likely come maybe on Wednesday or Thursday when we have this type of inflation data here. To me, that'd be the best opportunity. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a larger pump today, but from a technical perspective, you don't try to assume those larger moves are happening until you start to see some more volume coming up on the chart. But if you guys are dollar cost averaging, you guys are fine. Our dollar cost averaging profit here, or losses, let's see, we're up 60 bucks. All right, again, you can see there is a lot of red in here, there is some green in here, but really it looks like what's helping us out is, let me move this down so you guys can see it a little bit. We're losing a lot when it comes to ape tokens still. A lot of stuff is neutral here, kind of up 4 bucks, up 3 bucks. Bitcoin is up around 12%, which is helping us out quite a bit because we have so much invested in Bitcoin. It's kind of that safety anchor for your positions. ICP is up 11%, 12% basically. That's very good. Let's see, anything else? Key is up only 9%, about 5 bucks. That's okay. Lever is up 72% with the 2x leverage here, so that's something interesting. Look at this. Now, when did we buy this though? We started buying lever, it looks like 3.7. So we bought this about a month ago. We bought it all the way over here. We've held through all the the nonsense, and now it's broken out and it's going higher. That's nice to see. If you guys wanted to, you guys could in fact take profits off of this one in particular because it has run up so much. It's ran up from about 0.0025 up to 0.0038. That's kind of a nice profit right there. If you guys wanted to take it, you guys don't have to take it if you guys don't want to. This time around, I'm giving you guys options like, hey, this thing is up 70%. Do you want to scale out? Maybe, maybe not. It's up to you guys. As far as everything else, we got Lux is up 25%. That's helping us out. Reef is up 30%. Oh, here are some surprises. So True is up 57%. This is giving us some money right now. And we bought this one, I believe, let's see, 322. So not even all the way over here, 3.7, where we bought some other tokens. This is part of the third round, most likely, as far as that dollar cost averaging. So let's see, right around here. And it has gone up a lot. It's come back down quite a bit too. It looks like it's consolidating for another run up here. So this one you might have already missed out on the opportunity to sell for a very nice profit. Although you could say that 50-60% right now as far as true is concerned, that is still a good profit here. And then the other one, what is true? Yeah, 56-57% profit. And then whiff over here, we've been talking about this for a long time here, but this one has been able to break out and go higher and higher and higher. We've been buying this up, I think, for a while here as far as this is concerned, but let me double check for as far as this one. 315, 322, 328. So those are the 3 dates right here. The earliest is 315. So we bought right here, and then about 322 over here, a little bit over here. Then we bought twice on this day right here. And overall, the price is still above every place that we bought, so we're still happy with that. Everything else, pretty much all down at this point. Is anything down a lot that's dragging us down a lot? That'd be RLC. That's a AI token. That one's down quite a bit. As far as like a monetary amount though, or even percentage amount. NFP is down quite a bit. Link is a little bit down. File tokens down a little bit. File tokens been interesting. I only bought this once because it was kind of high at the time. You can see right there. I'm waiting to see if this is going to break out, so it might actually be worth my time to maybe invest a little bit into this one. And you know, not add a lot here, just add 25 bucks with a little bit of a leverage, 2x leverage, and just move the average down just a tad. I haven't bought a lot in here in the first place, so you can see how $25 just crushed that average there. So things looking okay there. Hopefully if we just have a pop today, all of a sudden becomes positive, I can walk away with a little bit more money here. As far as the Blofin one, this one is a little bit more complicated here because I pretty much just kind of went gung-ho in here in the first place, buying up a lot of small amounts of a lot of different tokens. A lot of these tokens are things you guys are going to think of as very high risk tokens. Let me make sure, the point of that was to hide my head. There we go. What you guys can see here so far is that, in fact, let me actually see if I can zoom in this just a little bit easier. There you go. Bitcoin's up 21%, Pixel's only up to 11%, down 8% with Bico. You know, you're seeing a lot of small gains. Percentage wise, they're okay, not a lot. You can see I invested 25 bucks with a 2x leverage, so basically 50 bucks here. Very, very small amounts of profit. I will be adding more to this as time goes on, but this was initial good stage, you know, $14, $60. It all adds up to a decent amount, 60 bucks here. You know, it adds up. Some are up 32%, some are down a little bit, some is up only 10%. And everything over here looks like it's doing okay. ICP is down 5%. Solana surprisingly is down 6%. I was hoping for more from Solana over the past few days here. BNX, small market cap 1%. Silly up 15%. Ren is up 24%. STMX up 13%. So some of these are actually giving us a little bit of profit. The thing about it is I basically am only doing small amounts of money here, which is going to be important for you guys to understand. I'm not risking a whole lot here. This was a $170 buy-in. This was a $90 buy-in. $35, $136. I have been adding more to Turbo here. Same as far as Miro. Things like Turbo, you can see where you buy in. I bought in a lot over the last few days. Drop, pop over here today. And you can see the average is up here. Okay. So still, we're making money, but I've moved that average up a lot by adding a lot more into the positions today. Otherwise, my average would have been all the way back down here around 0.00073s and whatnot, okay? So overall, dollar cost averaging is giving us some money here, but not really giving us those really good profits that we want to see, you know, by holding for months and months and months. We pretty much held for a month, and I'm hoping within 1 to 2 more months, if everything is good, CPI data is good, dollar index coming back down, inflation, it is the whole story here. I'm hoping that can kind of propel us a little bit further along here so we can start to take profits, and we're not looking at, you know, $60 or a couple $100 in profit. We're looking at, you know, thousands of dollars in profit like we did last time, and that's what I'm hoping for. Right now, as you guys can see from all that volatility, they're trying to push Bitcoin down back to support levels here. You can see right here, definitely coming back down a little bit. If you guys know the way I like to trade, you guys know that when I see a breakout, what am I usually looking for? I'm looking for the MACD, the stochastic, and the RSI to all be in that spot. At this point in time, they are not all in that bullish mentality, so I'm still going to be dollar cost averaging. I'll wait to see what's happening. And my swing trades at this point are kind of just breaking even, or actually at this point, they're actually a little bit above. If you guys recall, we started to do our swing trades over here. double dipped into it, so to speak, right there. And then so we're kind of in the profit, but not enough to really make us happy. So stay calm, kind of stay the course here. What I'm hoping is going to happen here, just from my paranoia of looking at patterns over and over and over as far as Bitcoin's concerned, is I'm hoping that Bitcoin can have this next big rally here, which will stop this death cross from occurring between the 20 and the 50-day moving averages. You guys recall that usually when we have these, after breaking all-time highs, bad things tend to happen around that time. I don't want to be part of that experiment here because it's just typically not a good thing. Now, we have had death crosses, of course, a lot in the bull run, just typically not after all-time highs. I'm hoping that I'm just overthinking this like I typically do with my ADHD, and that we're going to be something more in this cycle where we're having a death cross. It doesn't really matter all too much. Maybe it's post-halving, we'll have to wait and see, and eventually we'll continue to kind of rally on here over and over and over again, but it's just not something I want to see happen. So of course, if we can have that big move here later on today, tomorrow, the day after, I'm going to be pretty content with that. Going forward to over here on the 4-hour chart and whatnot, you guys have a clear uptrend. You guys know where we don't want to break down below. If we start to break down below some of these levels of support, well, unfortunately, that means we might have a little bit of a longer period of consolidation. That brings us into Wednesday, which is going to be the big day for everybody because CPI data is coming out in the morning time, PPI on Thursday. That's just going to lead to a whole host of fun, I guess you would say, and a lot of chaos. Chaotic fun, I guess that's how I'd probably perceive it here. But in the scheme of things, I know Bitcoin's taking a little bit of a breather here. I'm not ultimately too panicked about this because we've just had a great run. We were looking at coming all the way back down here to 62,000, and all of a sudden now Bitcoin's at 71,000. We were almost at $73,000 today. I'm still pretty happy with where everything is, and right now we have a level of support kind of hovering around here. So we'll see what happens next. We had a golden cross here. That's also pretty nice. I'm waiting to see basically what happens over the next 24 hours. I haven't gone much day trading here because I've been sick, but I'm still looking for altcoins at this point in time, and I'm looking to see if they're up against any 20-day or 50-day moving averages, plus how are their oscillators doing. If I can find some like that, that's where I'm going to be a little bit more excited. I was trying to look into Ethereum a little bit more today. You can see Ethereum just at a death cross. Didn't mean anything, like it usually doesn't mean anything when it comes to Ethereum, unfortunately. We talked about this before. Usually doesn't mean anything. But Ethereum on the daily chart, as you guys can see right here, this has turned positive as far as the MACD is concerned. That's pretty exciting, so I'm hoping to see some type of movement there. It's also been a breakout, so again, I might be waiting for Bitcoin to give me that full-on signal, but if you guys are looking for some day trades, at least it opens up the door for those longs on maybe the 5-minute charts, the 15-minute charts, and maybe if you're a little bit more into risk taking for that higher percentage of profit, you could even go over to the hourly charts to start doing some day trades over there. Solana still looks pretty bearish to me, more than I would want to. So I'm kind of watching this pretty closely. We are pretty close to that 20-day moving average. I don't know if today we're just kind of working down a little bit before a larger move up. I'm trying to watch this. Everything is still bearish here. Nothing is really like optimistically, hey, let's go. So keeping a close eye on that one. 4-hour chart, you can see we're not there yet. We're getting close to having a golden cross, but right now it seems like it may want to come down even more. When we had the momentum earlier on over the past few 24 to 48 hours, you can see it did move up a little bit, but not nearly as much as a lot of these other altcoins that we've been looking at. You go look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin had a nice rebound here along with Bitcoin. You can see a couple breakout examples here. Not all of them were the best because of the way the oscillators were kind of working out, but again, that's the 4-hour chart. Daily chart, still looking okay, basically bouncing off of that 20-day moving average. Bonk over here, again, some of these things are looking for their breakouts. If you can time them properly, they're going to be the best day trades you guys can take. Swing trades, I don't really feel comfortable doing a lot of swing trades right now unless you guys are willing to tolerate the volatility coming out from the CPI data coming out on Wednesday. If you guys are, I think you guys are okay with that. I know the majority of people were not looking at charts today. They were looking at that solar eclipse that was going on. I couldn't see squat because it was raining and cloudy, so hopefully things will change a little bit more here. Things like WIF token that have already been going up more and more and more, I'm avoiding these things. I have swing trades in them, I have long trades in them, but I'm not really doing anything as far as, wow, this thing has gone up. It hasn't given me a dip that's enough for me to buy, except for maybe on that 20-day moving average, but we're not close to that anymore. Miro, things like this, you know, Baby Doge, STMX, you know, they're okay. I'm waiting to see those breakouts, and that's what's going to get me the most excited. Easy ones like normal are going to be Ajax, PHA, Fetch. Those could be interesting to do. But again, Bitcoin is looking a lot more bullish than a lot of these altcoins right now. Altcoins have seemed like they found a bottom here, but they haven't kind of turned on the engines to go full steam back up. That's most likely going to happen post a larger Bitcoin move, so Bitcoin dominance itself can break out. Then I'll get everybody else juiced up here. All right, let me move that back over here very fast. And I thought I saw something. There you go. And hey, Jake, look at Bitcoin Cash for you. Yeah, I can do a quick look at that one very fast. Let's see. Well, this is also something very quick right here. So you can see it's been losing momentum over the past few days. It's kind of hit a ceiling right up here towards, what is this, 723 or so. And it looks like it's having some issues on the daily chart. The 4-hour chart, yeah, it just turned bearish here, unfortunately. You have a short-term level of support. I wouldn't call it a very strong one. There you go. Kind of close to 674. In fact, if I actually would go over to the 15-minute chart and open up a magnet here, you can already see that we're trying to break down below it. We've already broken down a little bit back there, and we're trying to close down below it over here right now. So you could try to buy the support right now. Most likely, you're probably just going to be holding on. 4-hour chart would definitely make you believe that we want to come back down and just take a dip. It doesn't mean a crash and stuff like that. Just a little bit more of a dip here. Maybe even find some short-term support closer to that 50 moving average right here on the 4-hour. Other than that, if you want to feel, you know, get a nice level of support, you might even just go for the red level here on the Fibonacci retracement. With this right here. That's all the way down here around 605. To me, that seems a little, you know, overzealous. So I'd probably turn the Fib levels off a little bit more. Then let's over here to the hourly chart. There you go. At worst, if you wanted to find a good opportunity to buy, it would be down here towards 631, right at that level of support from way back over here. You might see it just go more sideways though. It doesn't look bullish right now, that's for sure. It looks like it wants to come back down a little bit more. Maybe you can load up more on it, but definitely more sideways and down, not so much up at this point in time. How's the weekly chart look on this one though? Yeah, it might just need to breathe for a day or two. For the week, it doesn't look terrible. It's just that it needs to breathe a little bit here. Last week, it looks like it went through a whole bunch, as you can see with all the dips from Bitcoin as well. I wonder if it might tap on the 20-day moving average over the next few days. That might be another opportunity for you to buy back in. But that'd bring, again, back over here towards $600, $620, maybe $630 if you go according to that Fibonacci level. So keep a close eye on that one. Now, let me move this back over here a little bit. There we go to that 15-minute on Bitcoin. Couple things before you guys forget, or before I forget. We have the Bitcoin halving. That's in 10 days, 18 hours, 7 minutes, and 35 seconds-ish or about. Things looking pretty good from here. Everything's fine. Nothing is surprising. Everything's doing fine there. Things are moving up quite a bit today. There are a few here. If you guys really want to day trade, there are things that are better at day trading than others. Neo is number one here. Toncoin, CKB, ENA, and WIF. They have Lido, Dow, Theta, and whatnot, but they haven't been as volatile. It's been kind of more gradual, chunky moves up. But you guys can go that route if you want to. If you want to just, you know, watch the chart kind of grind, that's also a way to go about it. Excuse me. There are still things coming down today, like Pendle and whatnot. To me, when I see these, most of these have really good 7-day earnings, which means they popped up a lot. Even though Bitcoin had a good day, they're just cooling off a little bit. That's what I would say about things like Pendle and whatnot. Still, if you prefer to short than go long, Pendle's going to be something you guys are going to be very happy with. That thing has been very volatile over the past few days. Everything else, you know, AI tokens, meme tokens, they've all been doing okay, I would say. I think Dogecoin's been doing fine. Dogecoin being back above 20 cents has always been a good thing for us here. But again, you look at the AI tokens, it's okay. 15%, 15%. These are the lower market cap ones, so nothing really crazy about all of that data there. But it's nice to see that coins as a whole are pretty much moving up here over the last day. Is there anything actually going down here? That'd be a good question here. A good question to see. DEI, not bad, but it's up 179% for the last 30 days. GPU is down a little bit. So there are some things down. Things like GMRX, this one seems kind of funky. I'm not entirely sure. It must be a newer token or something, because everything is 24, 24, 24. But overall, I'm pretty content with what I see going on here. I was trying to find out if there was any other news. I didn't really see much. You know, if they're going after Trump and, you know, Tesla and Apple and like the base, the you know, bottom of the barrel stuff, usually doesn't feel like there's a lot of stuff there. Stock futures a little change as investors await March inflation data. You know, that's something there. Finding value. Jamie Dimon says AI. Nothing really here. Student loan, we've been hearing about that for years, and nothing really there. Americans converge in like eclipse, you know. You know, nothing there as of yet. Hopefully we can have some more news here. Even from CoinDesk, all it was a trial. That was the news of today. I kept on refreshing to see if anything big was happening, and no. You know, Bitcoin may rally to 80K on a triangle break. Technical analysis. Influencer achieves significant growth through inscriptions on Phoenix. Crypto market cap doubles to 5 trillion by end of year. Ripple CEO. Oh, you know, nothing cool, interesting. And as far as all the, you know, spot ETF news, it was a pretty lackluster day in the markets. You could say that Grayscale didn't sell as much Bitcoin as you might expect. I know it's kind of loading right here. I can't control Grayscale or Arkham, the data. Maybe. No, okay, we can go to look up. There it is. See, not much is happening today. Some selling off down here. They bought back some more over here. Nothing really was happening. Anything else here? Fidelity. I don't think Fidelity did much as well today. I don't know if I want to wait for this to load though. No, I don't want to wait for it to load. Okay, not much was happening here. That's the big thing I want you guys to understand. You can see a little bit of buying, lackluster, but at least it was some buying, right? Even if it was only like 300, 400 Bitcoin, that's enough, you know, especially when we had a good day here. And even though we didn't really have the most, you know, crazy day as far as the ETFs are concerned, Bitcoin still found a way to have some really nice rallies going forward here. So right now we're consolidating after a breakout. If we were to tap back down onto this trend line right here, you are going to see people being a little bit more excited. As you guys can see, there is a lot of volume on track. Because there's so much volume, what I'm going to actually do here is I'm going to move this up from 258,000. We're just going to be looking at trades over $500,000 right now, just so it doesn't keep on going down and going fast on the screen here. Maybe all this data is actually important data that you guys are seeing now. So basically any trade that you guys see is going to be at least $500,000. That way you guys know there's some serious money flowing in here, and we'll see when those big moments are, okay? And there, I'm happy to see my man. BitSpawn? I have never heard of BitSpawn before. Let me just check it out here very fast. Oh, it's a very tiny token, that's why. Yeah, it only has a $47,000 market cap. This thing is probably, like I said, it's like playing roulette, putting it on a number, and then there's like there's like 50 zeros or something. So it's a very, very high risk type of token. If you wanted to look at it, I guess, let's see the IO. What do they gotta do though? GameFi for esports and NFT gaming. So basically they're kind of in that metaverse game, right? So it's a very, very low market cap. It looks like it's only $47,000. You're gonna have a very hard time getting this thing to pump. But if you wanted to toss in $5 or $10 and you hope it can do well, it might have the opportunity to go higher. But it's a huge, huge risk that you're taking when you invest in tokens like that. And hey Fletcher, happy to see you. Small talk on Gala and Anchor would be awesome, Michael. I appreciate what we do. I haven't heard much of Anchor as of late. We can talk about it here though. Let me just go over here very quick. In fact, let me I'm gonna get myself a cigar. I haven't been able to smoke much since my little sickness and whatnot. Luckily my throat's doing fine. Hopefully my ears are okay. Alright. My friend made me this case because it was oh, you guys can't even see it, for fishing. So I'm excited to get some fishing done here once the weather clears up. It has not been clear weather. It was late. We can go with the double chateau, an opulencia, or just the classic my father. I'd go with the classic my father, you know. At the Hoya de Monterrey, I got a Cuban in here too. I've been wanting to smoke this, but this thing takes like an hour and a half to smoke. So let's not do that right now. There we go. All right. So while we do this very fast, let me go see if I can find any news, and then I'll also try to, let's do the My Father first. It looks a little bit lighter of a flavor, so it's not going to taste bitter the second time around. There we go. Let me do a little snip with this. Ooh, smells good. All right, let's see. Next cryptocurrency to explode Monday. It did not explode today. Best low cap bet for altcoins, 100% profit in the coming. Let's see. Here we go. This is a while ago, but Anchor readies for the Nira launch. Kangamoon pre-sale hits 2.87 million and selling out fast. This is an AI article. Oh, sorry. Here, very fast. There you go. I was looking at this, and this is an AI article. So, Anchor readies for Neuralink launch. Kangamoon pre-sale hits 2.87 million. In the fast evolving landscape of blockchain technology, this is totally AI written. This is hilarious. I hate that I know all this now by doing so much work in AI and helping some companies with their stuff. It's very interesting to kind of see how all this is. It's just not the natural way. You can pump out articles left and right. Let's see. Okay, there was nothing really as far as news is there. I mean, the easiest way to go over there usually is to find news. It's just go over to their X account. Leveraging, okay. Smart contracts, okay. I mean, they're still making progress here. It looks like that's good. It pays to educate yourself on the latest trends and narratives like engine layer. Okay, why do they keep promoting this? Build open innovation, play infinite sum games. Oh, so it's for gaming. I see this one at least. But Anchor, let me see. March 25th, a couple weeks ago here. So this might be something that's not AI news, right? Hopefully. Anchor is set to launch the Nira blockchain for AI startups, offering access to decentralized GPU resources, crypto-based crowdfunding, and on-chain AI operations. So it's designed to enable companies to deploy, train, and operate AI models on-chain. That's a way to keep up on the current tech and the current trends and whatnot. I would see they probably would get a nice boost out of that, wouldn't they? Let's go over here. How they've been doing the last few days. Had a double bottom, broke out above it, kind of retested that support level, and kept on coming back up. So it did run up against a level of resistance. So the day traders are hopping out, or the day traders hopped out a while ago. But let's back up a little bit here. Oh wow, yeah, just look at these swings that it's been having. So even back over here, so you can see people are getting excited about it, and there's a chance of a death cross here, but right now we're just going sideways, which is decent enough. Back up a little bit more here. That's what's on. So it recently just had a larger breakout, and it's just trying to stay above that level. If you're lucky here, especially with that good news and the announcement coming out, or maybe the launch happening, not the announcement, the announcement about the launch, you can start looking at it heading back to that level of resistance, which happens to be around 10 cents. That's a pretty bold move here, coming from around 6 cents or a little bit above it. You know, that's, what is that? Yeah, that's about 65%. So maybe sometime within this month and maybe even next month, you're looking at a pretty solid move there. I don't see the 200 moving average here, and there it is, but just breaking out there. You have a little bit of resistance, looks like around 8 cents as well, 8.5. But 8.5 to 10 cents seems like 8.5 to 10.5 actually seems like a pretty good place to be scaling out if you're buying right now. Because again, I know we're talking about pennies here, but from here to 8.5 cents, that's still around 38 cents. You go to 10.5 cents, that's kind of around 76%. That'd be a good opportunity to scale out. If I was dollar cost averaging here for holding for about a month or two, that'd be the level which I want to get out. You don't have to get rid of all of it though, of course. You can just sell 20%, 50%, whatever you feel comfortable with. All right, there we go. And how do I get this back over here? All right. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's just trying to stay alive here and hold on without breaking down below support. And next question, we just talked about Bitcoin Cash a few minutes ago. What's right here? Cat whiff is better than whiff, and I'm a dog person. Let me light up this cigar very fast. I'm gonna start smoking something. There we go. There we are. All right, whew, not bad. All right, but most of the meme tokens still have a long way to go, if you ask me. Even some of the ones like Whiff token that have already kind of gone up, and even when Bitcoin was going sideways, they're still going up. Whiff may take a break here soon enough, but things, you know, like a Dogecoin, a Sheeb, or a baby Dogecoin, Miro, you know, Bonk, I think they still have a lot of room left during this cycle. It really just depends on how they get up to those crazy high levels we know they can. It'll take some spunk and a lot of patience. See, and everybody, yeah, I like these cigars quite a bit. I haven't had a My Father in a hot minute, but they're good cigars. They're really good cigars. They're good quality, which is what I really enjoy. The flavor, I have to get used to it every time I smoke it. They always have a little bit of kick or something to them. I'm not entirely sure what it is. Could be a peppery flavor or something, but they're good cigars. They're really, really cigars. It's just not what I'm used to. I got to smoke some more of them. That's why I have a whole bunch of different options as far as these CB cigars. Freaking hiccups. I got the regular ones. I got the Opulencias. I got the Judge, and I got a couple more that I got to remember what they are. They're labeled, but I just haven't read the labels. 2017 had 5,000. Let's see. Now there's one chart guy saying this time it could be 30% yearly candle. Let's see, I don't think Dogecoin's doing anything massive like a 30,000. I think Dogecoin could definitely go up towards $1, but even $1 is like pushing it for me. $1.20, $1.30. You know, there's a chance. You know, there's a chance. And then we'll see where we can go. Last cycle, I thought Dogecoin would probably only get up towards like 70, 80 cents, more closely to 80 cents, and that's why I started selling off at 50 cents. I'm not necessarily the best at kind of like saying, hey, this is as high as Dogecoin or Bitcoin's gonna go. I just look for those characteristics that tell me like, wow, this rally is ending and I need to get rid of the majority of my tokens. So when after the market crashes and I've sold out the majority of my tokens, you know, I look like some type of freaking genius because I was just able to sell when the market was spiking up and going crazy. You know, that's kind of how I like to trade. I'm not good at saying Bitcoin's going to go to this number, Dogecoin to this number, Matic to this number, and all that. It's much too difficult for me. Hey, T, if you wanted to do some day trading right now, I would say you'd probably want to wait for some of the oscillators to get back into that buying zone. The daily oscillators are still kind of mixed at this point. The 4-hour ones, you can see they're kind of turning bearish here a little bit. 2-hour turning bearish. 1 hour turning bearish, 30 minute turning, well, 30 minutes been bearish, and the 15 minutes been bearish for a hot minute. Perhaps if you can just wait for the next golden cross to show up on Bitcoin, that might be a move. Until then, you're probably looking at Bitcoin coming back down just a little bit more or going a little bit more sideways. Nothing catastrophic, but yeah. You might have more luck with Ethereum, I would say. This thing looks like it can definitely just start breaking down below the 50 here. And that can make it move back down here to 36.35. Not a massive move, but a quick in and out that you're talking about. That could definitely be it, especially because Bitcoin right now definitely still has a little bit of continuation as it's trying to go down further and further and further. Don't want to be holding necessarily so long, but you know, as long as you're comfortable with it, that's probably the best trade out there right now. There you go. You know, be careful because Bitcoin does have support down here, but again, you know, that just means Ethereum would probably pop around that time. You sunk your first bit of whiff the other day at 339. Oh, it must be up high right now. Oh yeah, you're doing fine right fine right now. What do you think about DOT, Steve? I don't know. I own some DOT, but it didn't do what I wanted it to do, I think, or as fast as I wanted it to do. So I don't think I bought a lot of it. Let's see how it's been doing week to week. Yeah, it's still been having some trouble here, just having that robust move up. Now you can see what happened during 2021 cycle. Definitely some nice moves up there. At this point in time, I'd still have to go back and look at some of those Fibonacci levels. Right now, it's been bearish for the past few weeks. What hasn't? A lot of stuff hasn't, but there are still a few things that have been pretty bullish. But the majority of stuff, right now you're looking at just trying to hold above a support level, which happens to be that 20-week moving average here. There have been much better charts out here. I still think this has moved up a respectable amount. Just hasn't found that way to go parabolic just yet, but still respectable. Like still good amount here, okay? Now, let me see what we have going on right now. Let's do the small one first. Yeah, there it is. Okay. A little bit of support kind of around that 20-day moving average here. Let's back up a little bit more. And let's see. There you are. Maybe the 4-hour chart. I mean, it worked a little bit there, but this has not been the best support structure here as of yet. Let's see. No, not really good at all as far as support levels, so we don't need to use that anymore. How's the daily chart look, though? I mean, it almost looks like it's ready for a buying opportunity here. You can see it's up against that 20-day and the 50-day moving averages. Probably sometime by Wednesday, you should expect it to have a pop that goes right back up here towards 968. In the short term, that could be a really good move. I was trying to figure out if there's another way to look at this besides this typical trend line here, but you can see it had that breakout there. See how it's trying to hold it right now? Test. For me, if you're holding, you'd want to continue holding. We haven't hit that bullish momentum just yet to say, hey, you know, send it. But today or tomorrow could be a really big day for this because it would try to pump it back up towards 963, 964. If you got really lucky and you wanted to hold for like a week or so with good CPI data, that's where you could probably see it coming back up here to this resistance level, closer to $10.45. Pretty good profits here. Even if you were not able to get up all the way over there, just over here, that's still 6-7% profit. On the higher end, 8%. That could be a good 2 to 3 day long trade. Your stop loss, you'd probably have to go over to the hourly chart there because I don't see much good. Yeah, it'd have to be all the way down here towards 857, or if you wanted to, you could try to make it something close to 888. I would think there's too many chances for it to dip then rip though, so closer to 856 for that support level right there. It's a little bit oversold compared to what it should be, so hopefully that big pop does happen. Have I heard of when? I have not heard of when. Tell me about it. Heard it's similar to Dogecoin? Oh, then I might have. Oh, is it a meme token? Let's see. Memes. There it is, number 272, $267 million market cap. It's been moving up a little bit over the last few days, so if you want to catch on board, run with that, definitely give it a shot. It's been doing fine. It looks like the last 30 days kind of been inf. Last 60 days, though, it's up 747%, so definitely a lot of momentum on the side. Be careful with it, but besides that, you know, it's a meme token. Have fun with it. Can do on Ethereum chart looks ready. Let me see if I can find out what can do is. Oh, it's not even on here. Must be on Dex tools or whatnot. So it can do on Ethereum. There's a wrapped Ethereum. Oh, it's up 13% of this one, so maybe this is what you're talking about. A lot of low market cap tokens, everybody out there. Just be careful if you guys want to play with these because they're just so risky. I mean, just so risky. You know, this was a 2,700% rally, you know, but if you bought up here, you know, for whatever reason, you're down like 45%. So just be careful if you want to get into that type of stuff. Very, very large amount of risk for usually not a lot of profits unless you guys are lucky on those ones. Yeah, no worries, Michael. Happy to help you out. How do you think CPI coming in on Wednesday? Also PPI data afterwards? Yeah, PPI comes out the day after. So the consensus right now is this. All right, so this has been CPI over the last 12 months. Let's go to the last 5 years. Let me make this into bar chart so you guys can see it. You can see we've been stagnating up here kind of around 3%. In December, we had 3.4%. In September, 3.7%. In August, 3.7%. All right, and last month was 3.2%. This month is, March is expected to be 3.4%. That's the consensus at this point in time. So that means if we do match estimates, we're going to go back to December levels. Not to last September, but we're going to be going up. And that's not the best sign here. That means that inflation is definitely kind of more sticky. That means we probably won't have rate hikes as soon. But maybe if we're lucky, they still may find an excuse to lower rates. I don't know why they would find it, but maybe they will, okay? Just maybe they will. But that's something we have to be aware of. As long as we don't have a surprise to the upside, maybe that'll be good news for us. If we have a surprise to the downside, that'll be very good news for us. So if you guys want to see Bitcoin typically have a nicer move over the next few days, you guys want to see the estimate of 3.4 be right or wrong on the downside. So you want to see us be at 3.4, 3.3, 3.2, something like that. If it's something lower like that, that means that all of a sudden everybody's gonna get more active in buying, because if we do have those lower inflation rates, CPI rates, typically that would crash the dollar index and cause a lot more people kind of go rushing back into the market. So far, the dollar index here the last few days, this is the weekly chart. We broke out and now we're coming back down here. Now, I don't want you guys to think because we're breaking down here, this is not an important thing. We did break out, that resistance level is broken. We're probably going to go sideways and eventually go higher if inflation continues to kind of be this sticky, which has definitely been a thorn in our sides, as you guys might know, especially if you guys saw what happened over the last couple weeks. But inflation is supposed to be around 3.4%. It's not supposed to be great, but again, it's the surprise factor. If we're surprised and it comes in at 3.5%, 3.6%, hotter than expected, that's where you see Bitcoin take a pretty big dive. If it kind of matches our expectations, then I think we're going to be okay. You guys will see over here, everybody thought it was going to be the consensus was 3.1% last time. It was 3.2%, and you saw that February had a pretty unenergetic month, you would say. Over here, 2.9% for January. It was actually 3.1%. Okay, we don't want it to be hotter than expected. It's okay if it meets expectations, but we don't want it to be hotter. That's where we have issues coming with Bitcoin and a lot of the other price action here. Anyway, Steven, happy to help you out. Love the stream, bro. Now it's looking good. What's right here? Make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, sorry. Love the stream, bro. Analysis. Good to see Crypto Face showing you love too. Can you check out VXY daily and 4 hour? VXY. Why isn't it showing up here? Do you mean VX? I'm not spelling that right. VXY. Oh, VXV, Jesus, sorry, dude. Oh my God, you can tell I haven't been doing this for a while. There we go. Well, even here, wait. VXV. Oh well, maybe. It would have to be this one then. There you go. Let's see. Okay, VXV. Volatility index forward implied volatility daily, and you want to talk about the daily and the 4 hour here primarily. KuCoin? Ah, vector space bioscience. So it's cryptocurrency. Okay. I don't know why my brain immediately goes to indexes when I think of V's. All right, so you're looking at a breakout happening pretty soon, which is kind of nice to see. Now, momentum isn't there just right now, but it looks like it's pretty much there. So here. I'm gonna put this down because just got ash on my stomach too. There we go. There's a few things going on right now. So the first thing is you're seeing a small breakout happening right here with the backdrop of this death cross coming. This death cross to me is not so important. Normally I would think of it as such, but you know, there's a lot of things like this where we have these death crosses, doesn't have too much of an effect. Let's see. No, not crazy, not crazy, not crazy. Actually, usually the death crosses here are a pretty good sign. We'll have to wait and see though. All right, so what you're looking at here is probably going to be a larger move on the breakout side, closer to this short-term level of resistance, which is going to be right over here on $1.18. You could try to hope for a little bit more than this, but I would say it's going to be a higher risk. Up 10% for one day, that's pretty realistic. That's not something that's, you know, out of the ordinary. On the 4 hour chart here, you've been bullish for probably a few days now, since Thursday. So that's been nice to see. Now, you had this smaller breakout here with everything being bullish. That was a good opportunity to buy that one. Although, again, kind of risky because you're up against this larger resistance level. But as it continues to go higher, you're typically just looking for that next strong level, which you kind of have a box here, right there. Let me actually just draw a rectangle in here if I'm able to. Rectangle. There you go. Up here. It looks like that next level of resistance. I know there's an order block up here. I like to draw my own order blocks as well. You have an order block kind of around $1.14 all the way up here to $1.19. That's where I'd probably have my first scale out. You're looking at a golden cross right here. If you're lucky, it can make it all the way up here to $1.34. But don't be surprised with volatility and the way everything's been kind of working out the last few days. The Bitcoin going up a lot, down a lot, up a lot, down a lot. That we hit this level, come back down for a lower, a higher low, and then eventually break out again to have that larger move. So right now, I'd probably take a small amount of money out right here and then wait to see what happens next. The good thing here is if I move this over there, actually, I don't have to do this. Yes, right there. Just hide all of them all. I want to make this into a 20 moving average, looking at the daily time frame. I think it's fine. There you go. You see how it's right now, it's right up against that 20-day moving average there. This is going to be when you see a much larger pop coming off sometime in the next 10 to 15 hours, basically. That's what I'd be looking for, because this pop will bring you in here for you to take a first sellout. And if you want to continue to hold and wait to see what happens next, if it continues moving up higher, then you start heading up to this level up here, kind of around $1.29. Let me take off that magnet here. There you go. All right, a little bit below this order block right here, but ultimately I tend to not go for the very peaks of these types of things. I'd probably aim for $1.26 to $1.25, even though this one is up to $1.19. I'd aim for that as another scale opportunity. then all the way up here at $1.35 would be the last scale out there. But right now, this is kind of just a larger day trade that you're looking at. See that breakout happening right there. Play it up, it'll retrace, then it'll most likely go higher from there. So we're gonna drag this over. There you go. But it's up to you if you want to necessarily, again, trade that breakout, watch it go up, sell anything over here, you know, move back down a little bit more, and then eventually have that larger breakout. I like to scale out here, re-enter into my positions down here, and wait for it to go back up. For this one, you don't really have to re-enter in this one because you have the ability to scale out. Sometimes I like to buy back in over here and then wait for it to go higher, because again, if we close up here, now we are above the 20-day moving average. That should be a nice level of support to kind of guide it forward here. So at this point in time, it still looks very, very good. The oscillators on the 4-hour chart are very, very bullish. On the daily chart, they are getting bullish here. They are almost there, almost there. If it has a nice pump up today that goes back above 125, 130, you know, those type of resistance levels, then you should see it be able to continue moving on for the next week or so, depending on what Bitcoin does. Careful just because of the inflation data coming out this Wednesday, but overall it still looks pretty good. Sorry about the confusion with the dollar index or the volatility index. There you go. And right now Bitcoin's still having a bit of a battle here to see if it can stay alive. Hey DZ. Yeah, we just talked about one a few seconds ago. Yeah, it's another meme token. If you want to have fun with it, go for it. It's just high risk, high reward, worth putting some money behind. You know, I've been putting my money behind a lot of other meme tokens, so definitely not adverse to adding more money into meme tokens because they've been doing very, very well if you just, you know, kind of buy and hold. Then a bull flag on the 1-hour Bitcoin chart. You're probably looking at this right now. At this point, yeah, you'd want to see Bitcoin break out of this. I don't think this will be the end all for Bitcoin. I think this will be more of a sideways night. And then tomorrow morning, we can definitely try to continue things off again. Sometime, you know, after midnight, basically. Usually when I see us coming down this fast, it typically turns into something like this. You know, maybe, let me do that again. Higher low, builds back up, and then has the breakout. But this trend line would turn into something like that. By that time, the oscillators would kind of turn more positive. That's what I can kind of see happening in Bitcoin here. Now, this signals it would happen sometime around the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Don't worry about how I've kind of like moved it about. It can definitely happen sometime at 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, stuff like that, okay? But yeah, you do see a little bit of a flag happening right now. Ultimately, we don't have the bottom of the flag kind of picked in just yet. But if you wanted to, you can do something like this here. Because again, we are looking at the larger part of this breakout, right? We're just waiting for it to continue on, keep on going. I know people aren't happy with these types of moves, but usually when we have these breakouts, you know, it's not surprising. Let's see if we can find an easy one. It's not surprising when they do something nasty. Your stop loss is down here, and they continue rallying on. Bitcoin has been doing that a lot more than we would like, honestly, over the past few weeks. But I think that's just because of all the new money in here. This is kind of a market we're not used to seeing at this point in time. ETFs are kind of changing the game here. I used to be much more confident in all my Bitcoin, you know, Dogecoin claims of like, hey, here's where we're going. Now I'm much more like, okay, we got options. Let's see which one is going to work out the best. But we're going to have a plan no matter what, you know, what goes on here. Oh man. And it's sincere. How do you like Blofin on its opinion? I like Blofin a lot. I mean, they're a sponsor, so I'm obviously gonna like them. I don't work with exchanges when I don't like their product. If you're asking for like the negatives of what I don't like about them, that, you know, that I can always tell you, no problem. So the first one is just going to be that when you're on the trading platform, the way I've asked them, and I've kind of talked about this, and I think they're going to maybe change it if I push them enough. They like for a lot of the trades to appear separate. So they don't on their chart, like you see how Fairdesk has this. You see how there's like a plain old number right here that tells me that total account amount of money I'm making? This isn't on the actual trading page. They want you to look at all of this stuff separately, so you can see, you know, this one's up a couple percent, this one's down a few percent, this one's up a few. They want it to all be separate. They don't kind of lump everything together. That's something that I don't particularly like. That's just me. But I am vocal about it because I just like to be able to see how, you know, in totality, what all of my positions are doing, instead of kind of going up here and adding them on. They're much more of, hey, every trade is different. You know, don't think of them as all together. And I understand the thought process behind it. I don't necessarily like it as much as other, I like my way better because I've been using it for so long. It's how, remember, I came over from stocks and options over to cryptocurrency. That's how stocks and options work. That's how I kind of like it. So I've been telling them that I'd prefer if they changed it. And if you guys feel the same way, I can say that we would prefer you change it and stuff like that. But I think I would need more signups to actually have that kind of call out to talk with them like that. But ultimately, it's a good exchange. I don't have any problems with liquidity and things like that. I do like the way everything kind of moves as far as the speed. One of my things I don't like about Fairdesk as much, it's not like a huge thing, is when I push buy, it takes about 2 seconds for the order to actually go through. It's fine. It's not terrible. It's fine. Blofin, when I hit that buy button, it's, you know, it just happens like that. So if you guys like to trade fast, which I do every now and then with a high leverage, and you just want to get in and out and you don't want to wait that fraction of a second, which to me matters, you may in fact prefer Blofin over Fairdesk. So that's one way of looking at there. But ultimately, I like the product. I like what they're trying to do. They do have a little bit of other stuff. The one thing that I have not tried, but maybe you guys like to try, is they do have bot trades. I've just never been the biggest fan of them. You know, they got all the different ways of earning and things like that, copy trading, you name it. But they got trading bots like this. Right? And basically, right now, they just have this one bot called the Signal Block. This one actually doesn't seem like a crazy thing. Did I mess it up? Sorry, I'm not supposed to squeeze down most exchanges like this all the time. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, I moved it down here by squeezing everything. So this is split large orders, place orders at scheduled times to reduce slippage. I kind of like this. This just means if you guys want to buy a lot of, like, I don't use it, but if you guys want to buy a lot of crypto at once and you guys don't want to drive up the price, it can kind of manage it for you, so you're not spending as much on the cryptocurrencies you otherwise might have been. Okay, for me, you know, it's fine. It's good. I like that it's there. But typically I'm not doing such massive orders and things like that. You can see how the trades are kind of separated out. What I do like is they tell you how much you invested and then how much in total it is with the leverage. That's kind of nice. Fairdesk doesn't do that. You can have trailing stop losses, target prices, and stop loss, stuff like that. And I think what I love the most about it here, and this is going to be subjective to all of you guys out there, whether you guys like this type of trading or not. They have a lot, I mean a lot of low market cap tokens that I can trade with leverage. So I want to buy something and hold it for a few months with a 2x leverage or a 3x leverage, you know, pay the fees. The fees are usually worth it in my opinion. If they go parabolic, boom, I'm really happy. If they don't, I'm down 50 to a couple $100. I'm okay with that. But here, look at this one called Zeus, right? I didn't really know what Zeus was, but they have this thing right now where I think it's new. So they have 0 maker fees and 50% off taker fees. So I was like, oh, let me go with the 3x leverage play. Let me see what I can do with it here. Since I bought it, you know, 3x position, the position is up 5%. Not really moved all that much, but here. Zeus Network. It's only $160 million market cap. It's number 2,440. I don't know if this is actually the right number, 2,422. We'll see. But anyway, $160 million market cap. I like having access to that. You guys remember I was trying to find Turbo over here a few days ago? If I can, uh-oh. Don't freeze on me, coin market cap. There we go. There we go. Remember how I was going through AI tokens? I was looking for those really small market cap ones, you know, like under a couple $100 million. Well, there's Turbo down here somewhere. Right here. $57 million market cap Turbo. Okay. And then if I can find out what I did with Blofin here. There we go. There it is, right? I invested $137 on 3x leverage. It's up 26% right now, and it's doing good. It's doing great. I like to be able to buy them with leverage and just hold on tight. Not many exchanges in America give you that opportunity, which is definitely, I think it's important to have that. I think it's important to have that. Or at least, have an exchange to do that. You don't have to make this your day trading exchange or your swing trading, but if you guys actually want to buy some of these low market cap tokens with leverage, this is why I really like this exchange. If you guys know me for the past few months, I've been kind of like trying to figure out more because I want to have more risk. I want to have access to that risk, and I haven't been able to find it in many places. And this is one of the places in America where I don't have to break any rules to open up an account and start trading on it, basically. All right, sorry for the lengthy response. I'm talking too much and not smoking enough here, so this thing is going out a little bit. My lips are too moist. There we go. Shiba or Doge? Right now, I'd probably say Shiba, just because Doge has been having a good freaking few days. Shiba should have a good day here sooner or later. It's just been kind of lackluster. The early bird catches the worm. Yes, I mean that. I like to be able to get in those tokens at an early spot, especially because again, if I can do a 30 or in this case $100 bet on turbo, but whatever, maybe let's say a $20 bet with a 2x leverage, and if that thing goes parabolic on that slim chance, I would rather just have a 2x leverage hold or a 3x leverage. That'd make my life much better, right? From a financial standpoint, 20x, $20, 2x, long it. Just wait and see. I'm happy. I'm very happy with how that might turn out. Now, it may only make me a few $100. It may only make me a few bucks, not even $100. Who knows? Not all altcoins go to heaven. But if it does, if it hits the moon, I'll be very happy, and I can add more as time goes on, like I've been doing with turbo. Now, turbo is one I'm just taking a little bit more of a gamble on than other tokens, but it doesn't mean that's going to go up. So just because I bought turbo or whatever, don't just go out and buying it. It's a low market cap token, which has a lot of risk on top of it. And hey, solid Chiliz, let's see. Are you looking for a entry point? Let's see. Oh, this already had the breakout here, and it retested, then it came back up, so that's interesting. Let's go back over here to the daily one. Had the death cross and do squat, came back for a golden cross here. It's going to be hard to find an entry point right here at this point in time, just because you can see that the resistance is right there. So unless you're anticipating a breakout, your potential for a trade is only going to be about 5% profit, and that stop loss at this point in time is going to be 8%, so it's not going to be worth the trade. So you'd probably have to wait for it to come back down here and come back into contact with the 20 moving average on that 4-hour chart. You can see it's been holding up okay. Tap, tap, tap over here, tap over there before ultimately breaking down. Didn't tap right there, a little bit right there. It usually does, no, it's more mixed over here. That's more sideways action. Since this one's already been kind of running up for a while, you might have better luck if you were to do one of two things. First would be to kind of wait and see if it bounces off of this trend line or the 20 moving average here. More realistically, if it decides to break down from this and it starts to come back down here towards the low 15s or maybe even the high 14-cent range, that might be the better opportunity to be buying back into this level. Just because it's already ran up so much and it is up against that level of resistance, there's a lot of tokens out there where they're not looking at those levels of resistance being so close. Like you pull up something like an ape token, You see how far away it is from those levels it was a few weeks ago, or even Arbitrum? You see how far away it is? That's something where I'd say it's much more likely to buy right now and kind of play those big booms. When I look at something like Chiliz, it's just at this point where you'd most likely just be accumulating for a larger move, not necessarily looking for a day trade. If you're looking for a swing trade, yeah, you're there. You know, it might take a couple weeks, but you're up against that 200 weekly moving average. You'd be buying right here at this point in time and just waiting for that launch to take you back up here towards 29 cents. That'd be a great play. But, you know, as far as day trading or just holding for 1 or 2 days, that becomes a little bit more difficult, because most likely at this point, you would just be dollar cost averaging every 12 hours or so, maybe, you know, 24 hours, whatever you feel comfortable with, buying a little bit right here for dumps down, a little bit over here for dumps down, a little bit over here, and then basically just waiting to see what happens as it approaches that 200 weekly moving average there, which is definitely going to be an issue. But again, if you can find a way to get above it, then you're happy. For now, I'd basically just be waiting to see what happens and seeing if it can cool off a little bit. You know, if it can shave off 2 to 3%, that'd be a good initial buy-in. I'd be a little bit too frugal to be buying in right now, but again, that's only if I was looking to hold for like next week or two. I'm always sincere. It's all about what you're looking for as a trader. Like, I try to give you guys a host of different exchanges that I can partner with that help me out, help you guys out. You know, you guys get little bonuses for putting stuff in there. I get a percentage of trading fees off of you guys trading, and then the exchange gets the other trading fees basically, and everybody's usually pretty happy. But I don't want you guys to go open an exchange account if you guys aren't going to be using the exchange. Like, you could, well, I should say that. I'd prefer if you guys actually did sign up and take a look around. Where I'd pause is like depositing money in there. You know, I would only do that once you feel like, okay, I could actually envision myself trading on here. Let me do the formal testing, and then if I like it, I can add more money in there, if that makes sense. But typically, you want to test out stuff a lot to see if you really like it or not. And let me see over here, Velo. So, whew. This thing is already broken out, so you're typically not going to be buying at this point, and boom, yeah, look at this. Massive amount of sellers were going to come in here today, so this is where you're going to see a lot of selling taking place. Everybody that bought during this last accumulation, they're selling right now, and they're happy to sell. You can see what happened during that last sell-off right there. 1 day is at 2 days of consolidation, because, hop over to the 15 here. That's it, yeah. Level of resistance, everybody kept taking profits until ultimately you had a really nice rally here, what you're seeing right now. And again, at that level of resistance, you're seeing a lot of people take profits and take profits. This is more of a taking profit place. This is not where you want to be buying. This is where if you bought at a good price, you're basically just saying, I made enough money, I'm going to sell. I'm going to wait for it to dip back down a little bit to buy more. Or if you're thinking in more of the long term here, you're just saying, okay, I'm going to sell 5 or 10% of my position, maybe more depending on how much you want to get rid of. And then I'm going to wait for us potentially over the next few weeks to break out from here and then start going back up towards, you know, 0.0s, like 5 cents, 7 cents. Oh, this is 11 cents actually. So you're going to be waiting for that next big move. Since it is at a penny here, and during the highs of 2021, it was up here around $1.43, you know, it's not going to take a massive investment by you to make some good money off of this. You know, you bought $100 in here, $50 in there. It goes from a penny and a half all the way up to $1. Of course, you're going to be very happy with the results of that. So, but in the scheme of things, the next few days, this is definitely resistance. Maybe it can have a nice breakout if Bitcoin were to have that big boom that we're hoping for with CPI data coming on Wednesday. But, you know, without that, you're looking at a lot of selling coming on this particular token. Not a terrible thing. It had a really good rally. It's just going to need to cool off a little bit here. Oh, no worries, easy. I might have to buy some of that win too. And then Chris, happy to see you. Any thoughts on Farmcoin? I have not even. Well, actually, I think I've heard of Farmcoin. I just haven't checked into it much. Let's see. Yeah, I've heard of farm token. Yeah, harvest. Yeah, down 20% today. Oh, did it have a big move or something recently? It did. Okay, that makes sense then. Got to be careful about something that just popped. You're normally going to be selling it. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful pop. Selling. You can take this opportunity to buy some if you want to, but don't be surprised if you buy and it keeps on coming down before another rally here or over time. Look at this thing. This thing happened very, very fast. I'm sure this market cap was taken aback. You know, it's $50 million token, and that's after the pop. So you know it was like really, really low in the first place. You probably saw over the past few weeks a lot of people buying this and waiting for some type of move, whether it's a move like this or if we're lucky, a larger move. They're selling right now. They're probably going to continue to sell for the next few days. To me, if you want to get into this after it's already popped, you're going to be looking at this more from a dollar cost averaging perspective, or just going to be looking for some day trades. But for me right now, day trading is going to be pointing towards just short. Look at the 4 hour and the 20. Wait for that maybe, but you could short your way down to that if you wanted to here. Weekly chart, any resistance levels here? A little bit. Right there a little bit. You got one more up here towards $158. You still got some momentum here, but you're definitely going to want to accumulate for the next few days. You're not necessarily like just buying for an immediate one day, you know, you're going to be rich after the next day. You're going to want to accumulate this slowly over the next week or so. This 4 hour chart is just looking freaking bloody as heck. You know, again, it ran all the way up here to $128. Now it's all the way down to $74. A lot of profit taking is happening. This reminds me of what Dogecoin was doing back in the bear market when it would like a skyrocket off of some news with Elon Musk or something, and then boom, come crashing down. Still, overall, it was a good play. I would just be accumulating right now. I would not be buying for a short-term gain though. Something more for a little bit longer period of time. There you go. It's nice to see that Bitcoin's still consolidating here a little bit though. Hey Nicholas, what about Sui and General do you want to talk about? Oh, sorry. Oh, let's see. Come on. There you go. No, over here. Come on. There you go. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, huh. He's been needy lately. Mostly because I've been sick, so he hasn't been able to go outside. Today, I wore a jacket, and I also wore a blanket outside just to make sure I was extra warm. It was definitely freaking chilly out here. Also, it was raining outside too. Not the best draw on this one. I think it comes down to the very end right here. I wonder if I can snap this little end off. It might mess up the body of the cigar, but let's see, because it's a little bit more moist than I might like it, but there you go. A little bit drier. Let's see. Still a little bit irked right there. I don't know what it is. Somebody rolled it just touch tight. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. Look at this. Look at this. That's what you want to see. Okay. Next time I just have to cut a little bit deeper in there and I should be fine. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Beautiful. Okay. So just the chart, potential for a short time. Let's see right here. So this usually does have some really big and really bad days. The bad days follow the really good days, obviously. But let's give it a shot. Especially, let's start with the weekly chart. You can see some of the volatile times. You may say this, oh, this doesn't look like a lot. No, this move from here to here, yeah, it's like 40%. It was a pretty big move. Now, as far as the short term here, daily charts. From a technical perspective, everything is pretty bearish here. You're basically hoping that tomorrow with the conference at the same time, Bitcoin's making a good move. That way you have like a compounding bullish effect, if you will. You have a resistance level like that, and you have the one that most people are probably going to be using here that looks something more like that, okay? Either way, they're both kind of far away. This one is up here around $1.77, around 10 cents and 9 cents away. This one is all the way up here like 20 plus cents away. I'd be looking for a break of this sometime tomorrow if you're lucky, if there's some good data. At this point, the daily chart is still bearish. The 4-hour chart though should be, yes, it's bullish here. It's been bullish since here, since about 5 p.m. Friday. So 5 p.m. Friday. Yeah, right here. Now, it definitely took some time for this to actually get going, but it's been moving pretty well. You have a death cross coming, a golden cross coming, and maybe another golden cross when the 50 crosses back above the 200 here, but definitely a lot of volatility here. So it might only break out to a small amount. I don't expect it to do something parabolic here, but again, moving back up here to maybe $1.80, testing back down, then trying to grind on for a little bit longer. That's most likely what's going to happen here, just because the daily chart hasn't gone back to being in that full bullish fashion, you know, over the past few days at least. You still have 2 to 3 more days, it might look like. This might be a CPI play more than even of a conference play. But as far as I'm seeing right now, it still looks like it has potential, but more of this grinding move up, where I might even sell off a little bit before it actually breaks out, just to make sure I've locked in some type of gains. And then if it does break out, I will sell again. But I'm looking at these levels of resistance, and it's kind of around here from like $1.80 all the way up here to $1.86. $1.86. I'd be selling around there, waiting for that sell-off to come, and then again waiting for that next kind of consolidation before another move up to retest out this level of resistance up here. And you can see I'm not exactly precise on this one. Where's the point? There we go. There we go. So it looks more like this, right? But yeah, I see potential for it. But you definitely want to be scaling out. You want to be, this is a dedicated day trade where you're not necessarily leaving your computer for a long period of time. You know how I feel about, you know, a lot of times I'm day trading. I can leave my computer swing trade. I can leave my computer go and do stuff like that, my price targets and whatnot. This is something because there's a news event around it, well, I just might be a little bit more glued in on it, or just having some type of alerts that can kind of ping you on your phone to say, hey, the price is at 170, the price at 175, 180. That way you can just know that, okay, maybe I want to sell some here, you know, etc. No worries, Nicholas. Somebody asked a question here. Who was it, Cleo? Neo, 5-minute chart? Well, you're at a support level right now. Let's see. So if you want to be buying for something of a shorter term pop, this would be the opportunity. You are looking at a death cross happening here, so it probably wouldn't be the highest move. But, you know, a lot of times you see people trying to pop this up, back up here, retest, break down. So that's probably going to be the easiest play that people could be doing. I know it's moving up a little bit as we speak, but let's see. Yeah, peaking a little bit more for some consolidation. The 4-hour chart still looks okay though. Bullish. How's the daily chart looking? Bullish. Oh, I see. This has already had a massive run up here, so this is basically a big breathing day. So a lot of volatility here. Be careful because it can definitely start falling back down. If you see it start to come back down here, below this level of support, kind of around $20.80 or so, this wouldn't be the worst thing to happen. Again, what would really send this thing off, you know, start to plummet down a little bit more, is if it started to break down below 1949. That's where I would start to be a little bit more concerned about what's going on. Typically in these situations, I try to buy the first attempt at support. So this was one over here. I'd buy this first one. I don't necessarily like to buy the second one, but again, you could buy it if you wanted to for a short-term trade. You look at the 5-minute chart. Otherwise, I'd wait for it to come back down here and do another 5-minute or 10-minute trade, or looking at those 5-minute, 15-minute charts, I'd buy and wait for a little bit of a pop off of that. But right now, the easy trade is just to buy for the support, have the support be the stop loss itself, and then just try to see if we can get back up here towards not necessarily 2050, but something more over here at around 2135. It's an okay trade. It's an okay trade. You can still see there's some volatility, but definitely some there's a battle going on. So just be careful about how much leverage you want to interject into this trade or at this point in time. 5 minutes kind of bearish. It can turn bullish here pretty soon. The 1 minute seems to be bouncing off here again, just like before. Might be nice to see if it could hold this level for maybe an hour or two, and might make it much more easier to buy in here for another larger move that could potentially take you back up here towards $22 or so. But you know, we're talking about from here to here, this resistance level, you know, that's 2.5%. It's not like it's going to give you a whole bunch of money, but if you wanted to kind of play that with leverage, that's where it could be. But again, that support, that stop loss is going to be anywhere between $21 and kind of around $20.89. So pretty small range right there. And here Bitcoin's trying to go as well out of this, a little bit of a pennant. What are my thoughts on the Ethereum ETF play? I have been in this play for a while, my man. I had started to load up a lot more in Ethereum than I would otherwise would have, just because I'm anticipating the ETF happening sometime this year, and I want to make a lot of money off of that ETF, because I know there are going to be plenty of other people that say, hey, I own Bitcoin, but I also want to own some Ethereum. Now, I don't think it's going to be nearly as much, but again, Ethereum doesn't have as large of a market cap, so I don't think it needs to be as much. So I am definitely adding more money to my dollar cost averaging, or I've been doing this for the past, 2 months-ish since I really started to see the impact of the ETF, basically how the run up to it happened, plus what happened post the ETF with all the money kind of flowing in. I am going quite heavy on Ethereum this bull run. Not crazy, but you know, much more than it otherwise would have been, because I see the potential for the ETF to really cause some bullish chaos and for Ethereum specifically. What do you think about Dogecoin's 7-year cycle? Do I think Dogecoin can reach $40 in 2028? Probably not. I mean, I'm so skeptical of Dogecoin going like to parabolic levels again, unless there has to be something special about it. They have to burn some tokens. They have to stop it from being inflationary. They have to do a whole bunch for Dogecoin to really get it to that level. And as long as it's inflationary, I don't see people really going all in on Dogecoin to have, you know, tens of thousands of percent gains over the next few years. It can go up high. It can go up to maybe $3, $4 by next bull run. But by, you know, and that's even stretching it for me. But if you're looking for something absolutely crazy, you know, for me, it would take fundamental changes to Dogecoin in order to make that happen here. Oh, hold on, guys. Make sure you guys don't spam. Let's see. Doge. Oh yeah, there are Juan said it right there. Doge needs a burning mechanism. And hey, Puma, happy to see you, my man. Okay, Danielle. As far as God, I keep on talking and not spoken. As far as ADA is concerned, I hold a little bit of it. The heck. But the reason I'm holding it isn't so much of the fundamentals. It's more of it has like a die-hard community around it. And I like those types of tokens because it means that they usually hold up pretty well. I'm not myself totally ecstatic about holding it for a very long period of time, but you know, I think it'll move up like a lot of other tokens like Ethereum Classics and things like that. And hey, Puma, no. Normie coin? Normie, okay, sorry. Whenever I see R's and M's together, it always feels like a one gigantic M. Let me see. And you said this is a meme token. Where is this at? There's never. Trying to see what is in the scheme of things here. Must be very, 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 very low. All right, so if that's the case here, let me just go up here very fast. Let me just type it in case I missed it. Normie, yes, 2,482. Okay, so this is broken. Yeah, it says the market cap is 49.58 trillion. Something is clearly broken there. But let's go over here to the website. Uh-oh. It has no website. Twitter. Normie Coin. I'm not seeing anything here. As far as anything's concerned, I don't see a website. I don't see nothing. How's it looking on the last year? Looks like it started to pump a few days ago, but it looks like it's such a new token that there's not really much there. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe a Telegram? Let me see. Has 4,000 members, it looks like. So the Telegram is active. Let me go in here in the Telegram. There's nothing in here. I mean, it's all just kind of spammy stuff. So I'd probably say I would avoid this one for now, unless you can find out some information about it. Because I can't even find the website. I can't find a Twitter page for it. And so I'm not entirely sure if this is the right one or not. But it has this weird, ugly frog with the beard as the logo. But as far as I know, I can't find it. If it's something different than that, probably better. Actually, let me go over here very fast. There we go. Normie Base. Here's one. Okay. So maybe you meant Normie Base. Could be this one. $16,000 followed by Crypto Cove. I've been talking to him. He does a lot of airdrops and stuff. Lots of memes, but they're posting lots of memes, so it might be okay. Yeah, it could be okay. As long as it's not Normie, if it's Normie Base, I think that makes it a lot easier to actually make some money on that. Hey, it's a honeypot, don't join, no, stay away, or then there you go. Stay away. That's what D3W says right there. But that first one definitely seems kind of bad. Can I see W? I can, well, I don't know what W is, but let's see. See. And hey, DJ, happy to see you, man. There we go. If I started with $300, how quickly could you run up to $2,000 with 50x leverage? If the market conditions were like good, you could probably do it within 24 to 48 hours. Typically my way is much slower and much more nuanced, but basically what you'd be looking for is you'd be looking for something of a higher risk token. You probably wouldn't be going for 50x. You'd probably be going with 25x or something like that if you really wanted to get there fast. And then you would again wait for all the oscillators to be correct for Bitcoin, weekly, daily, 4 hour, and then you'd wait for that kind of buy signal to kick in, and then you would be looking to trade that. Or if all of that was happening on Bitcoin, you know, you could also try to look at any altcoins out there and look for those types of plays as well. But typically it just depends on what the market is doing. Like over the last few days when Bitcoin was just looking nasty and whatnot, I typically wasn't trading all too much during that period of time. Once Bitcoin started going a little more sideways, I was much more optimistic about day trading and whatnot, but I only did a few day trades, right? So if you wanted to do like the last day trade that I did, because again, I was kind of sick here, was all the way, because this is the one I did with you guys, right here. This one. Was this it? No, this one. There we are. Okay. So you buy right here, stop loss right here. Price target going to be usually going to be the one level here or this level of resistance. You can see that one right there. In this circumstance, I guess you have two options. You'd probably go with this one actually. All right. So a breakout occurs. Your first scale out level is going to be here or here or here. Let's say, for example, that you just wanted to sell right here. If you had a $300 trade with a 50x leverage, you're not 7%. So whatever 7 times 50 is, like 350%. That's what you can get for just holding for a day and 4 hours. Now, typically for me, I'm a little bit weird. I like to scale out here, I like to scale out here, then I scale out here. So my average would probably be somewhere down here and not up here as far as like where I ended up selling the majority of my crypto at. But, you know, that's a good way of going about it. And you can see all the oscillators were looking pretty good. That was pretty nice. This was a day trade because at the time though, the 4 hour charts weren't looking the best. So you can see the trade right here. See how we're still bearish, 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 bearish. 4 hour chart here was bullish, bullish, bullish. So again, I'm not really looking to hold on to it for something of a swing trade. I'm holding for days and days and days. The 4 hour is good, but the daily charts, not looking the best. You can go there for hours if you want to. But typically you see we had a longer consolidation period. It usually ends up being okay. But typically, if I had $300 in my account, I typically don't invest at more than like a 2 to 3x leverage for the trades. It slows down everything, but it also slows down the losses, which I think is always important, especially for new traders. I guess you've been trading for a little bit longer, but still, for everybody else, you know, slow profits, slow gains, you know, you grow in that portfolio slowly, but it's growing. I like that better because I don't want you guys to quit. I don't want you guys to have a portfolio, lose it, and then walk away from cryptocurrency because there's so much potential there. Because typically if people lose everything while day trading, that means they don't even hold any as long-term investments for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, whatever it may be. They just don't end up holding anything, and I think that's kind of a waste. Loop Network, I haven't heard much about that one, so I probably can't tell you if it's good or not. Thoughts on Jasmine? I'm holding it for the long term, but I don't like to day trade it at all. No worries, Puma. Always love your show. Amazing as usual. A quick question. How long will altcoin season last? What's your prediction? At most 2 months. Realistically, 1.5 to 1 month usually. These altcoin seasons don't last for a while because typically what's happening during an altcoin season is Bitcoin has actually reached its zenith for the most part. It's up, so it's the very tippy top. It may not reach the very, very tippy top, but it's pretty much reached that tippy top. And while Bitcoin's going sideways, figuring out what to do, that's when altcoins are going ballistic. And so typically, when I see those types of signals, I'm usually selling off a lot of them. Now, I think the past few weeks have been very interesting because you've seen kind of a split among the crypto community, Oh no, we're out of juice here. There we go. We've seen this kind of massive split. We've seen people over the last few weeks say that Bitcoin has hit its high for the entire cycle. We've had people say dollar cost average like me, but we've also had people saying that Bitcoin's just gonna keep on going up like crazy until we hit some type of level, so just kind of hold and deal with it. I guess I could also be in that camp as well. Overall, because we haven't even had altcoin season yet, I'm still of the, persuasion that we're going to continue to go higher as far as Bitcoin, altcoins in general. But this next move that Bitcoin takes up, whether we're going to 80,000, 85, 90,000, 100,000, I'm going to start slowly, and I mean slowly, like 5%. I'm going to start to scale off some of my longer term holdings that I've had for the cycle, because I know in the scheme of things, we're getting closer to the end. Now, am I selling off 20 or 30 or 40%? No. But I am going to sell off a small portion of those because I know we're getting close to the top. Not close, like, we're almost there. But, we're closer to the top, I would say, than the bottom where crypto has been over the last few years, right? $15,000, $16,000. So I'm going to start taking off a little bit. And this is where I'm telling you guys why I've kind of introduced this new type of thing that we started back in December, where we're doing these dollar cost averaging trends where we hold for a few months and then we sell. Now we're in the second cycle of this, as you guys know, but I'm going to sell this again. Maybe the Bitcoin will be at all-time highs. Maybe it will not. Maybe Bitcoin will be like at $100,000. Maybe it will not. That's a better way to say it. But ultimately, I'm still in this place where I feel comfortable dollar cost averaging before that next move up. Once Bitcoin goes parabolic again and we're like at $100,000, $90,000 or $120,000, who knows how high it will go, I'm going to be much more cautious. And a way to explain this for you guys as before is we go over here to the Bitcoin chart from back in the, there we go. This is Bitcoin weekly chart. A lot, like 80% of my cryptocurrency was gone up here. I didn't put all of that profit back into Bitcoin over here. I just re-entered with maybe 20% of my entire position back over here. But I did not go full force into Bitcoin over here because I really had no idea what was going on this cycle. This was absolutely just nuts from my perspective of being part of a few bull runs. And just, I guess back in this time, it wasn't a few bull runs, but you get my point. It was just, whoa, what is going on here? So what I did was I was dollar cost averaging down here. I was telling you guys I'm dollar cost averaging. We'll see if we go higher here. Nice to see, because again, we didn't have that death cross there. So that was kind of a, can happen here. Plus free government money, a lot of more fundamental research was going into that. You guys were there for those kind of boring days where we was like, what the heck's going on? But again, back over here a little bit more. By the time we came up here, we had another signal where things were like, oops. Where things were getting a little bit more bearish again. And the interesting thing about this, as far as the cycles and how I try to read them, we really didn't go much higher. We really formed a nice double top here where it ended up coming, double top followed by a shoulder, head and shoulders, came crashing down, had a massive flag followed by the death cross that was over here as well. It led to some really good profits on the other side, especially when like Luna was coming down and the world was falling apart, exchanges coming down, stuff like that. But anyway, I still think we're pretty far away. Let's see. Feels weird having all these lines on the chart, but I think I still like the way it looks in the 15-minute chart. There we go. I'm hoping that Bitcoin can actually have a breakout here and just start going back up towards $72,000. The smoke looks so much more luscious on the camera than it really is in front of me. But that's cinematography, right? Oh, but overall, a month to a month and a half is usually what I expect from altcoin season. If it's longer than that, awesome. But, this is why I was gonna stress out. See, ADHD, I lose track sometimes, guys, I'm sorry. Oh, have I been in this chart the entire time when I meant to be in this chart the entire time? Haha, I have. Wow. That's okay. All right. Look at the weekly chart for Bitcoin. You see how Bitcoin had that double peak? Okay, let's go down through altcoins to see how they did during that second peak. So Ethereum went higher, had a nice little peak there. Solana, very, very well. Dogecoin, never really came back up for that really good peak. Shiba Inu, never really came around for that second peak. ADA, came up for the second peak. Very nice. Short, but it moved up. Sorry, there's so many new tokens. I have to really go back to what was going on before. XRP didn't really make another peak there. Came back up, but not the same way, right? Bitcoin Cash never really came up for that second peak. Still looked pretty fine, you know. Bitcoin Cash has been around for a while. Chiliz came back up, but never really had that strong peak. Comp, you know, never came back up. Crow never came back up. Dot actually did a very good job, but I mean, this thing came down like a freaking rock. Wow. Doge on Mars, same type of story here. Matic did, I remember this one quite well, did fine. Ethereum Classic never really came back up. So, you know, file token here. Just because Bitcoin maybe has a round two doesn't mean altcoins are going to have one. So I'm usually selling off a large chunk of those altcoins during that first main altcoin season, okay? There may be plays that do very, very well. Well, guess what? I will attach myself to those ones when the oscillators themselves are kicking up as well. You go over here to something like a file token. Let's go to Matic so we have more historical context. You see everything's bullish right here for a while. Gets more choppy, bearish, more choppy in general. If you want to, you could latch on to the dailies here. And you could try to swing those dailies as they appear. Change your character, bullish, bullish, bullish. You can buy this and play the wave, right? You can definitely do that. Change your character, bearish, bearish, bearish. You can trade that wave. It becomes a lot more simple to trade during this period of time because the weekly chart's kind of more stagnant, but the daily chart's going to be fluctuating like crazy. Again, change your character here. Bullish, bullish, bullish. It did go up a little bit, but honestly, where did it go up to? Maybe a previous level of resistance close to all-time highs? So this only netted you, if you wanted to go from there, about 14% profit. Again, but still, it worked out okay. This one over here, breakout structure, bullish, 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 went up a little bit higher. Change your character here, bearish all the time. You could have traded this for maybe 3 days, made some good profit. This one was fine, but again, then you're starting to look at Bitcoin coming down. You can ultimately see parts of that shoulder, head and shoulder here, you know, but most altcoins are not going to be as wonderful as Bitcoin. So, you know, if you're going to be looking for a secondary rally or something like that, you're going to be thinking more of what's Bitcoin doing and not so much of what altcoins are doing, okay? Bitcoin to 5 or 10 million seems like pie in the sky. Tippy top. Oh, hey, Catherine. I hope it does. I think a lot of tokens will get to a new tippy top this time. That'd be the new phrase, tippy top. Hey, Piecemeal. What do you call it? You know, as far as Bitcoin hitting those nice parabolic levels, I really don't have much concern about that actually occurring over time. It's more of like, I just hope that the world as a whole can just like chill out a little bit. You know, before COVID, there was a few years where nothing was going on. There wasn't much drama. Like you could walk outside and there was nothing really bad going on. Then we had COVID and everything kind of changed. The world kind of turned upside down. Things got worse as far as like, you know, Ukraine being invaded by Russia, the Hamas and Israel, all that type of stuff. It became more chaotic. You know, Obama did a good job of getting us out of the recession that we were in. Sure, it took a little bit of time, but you know what? It's easy for a president to make things worse if they don't understand what's going on. And I think Obama, Trump, their economic package as a whole, I know some had strengths in other areas, some didn't. Like, I think Trump was more of, I guess, a manufacturing job president. Obama was more of like structuring the financial system to become just more stable, right? A lot of stuff, right? But I think those two as a whole, I was okay with both of them. I don't necessarily like them, like I don't love either one of them, but they did a good job, right? Biden, I don't necessarily like Biden that much. I was too young to really know much about what happened during the Bush administration because I was fucking in like middle school and high school, so not really much there. But there was a nice little period where I thought things were looking okay. Now it seems like I'm really just like, damn, the world's kind of in a really fucked up place. So I'm hoping that there could be a little bit more stability. That stability really gives an opportunity for Bitcoin to shine, I would say. I know people are betting on Bitcoin doing very well in very tumultuous times where, you know, financial system is in kind of chaos and stuff like that. Sure, it could, but I'd prefer if everything was nice and then Bitcoin was also going up. That way, when Bitcoin hit $1 million, I could buy a lot of shit with $1 million, right? I can imagine if Bitcoin hits $1 million and the price of a Lambo is $5 million. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff I really worry about. I'm hoping that over the next few years, things just kind of stabilize. Whether Joe Biden wins, Trump wins, RFK wins, or anybody wins, I just want to see the world kind of like smoke a joint, relax a little bit, and I think that'll give it much better circumstances for Bitcoin to really thrive here. Especially because I think, who was it? Here we go. Look at some of this. This was 15 hours ago. No, get that. China's largest funds apply for spot Bitcoin ETF in Hong Kong, right? Major Chinese asset managers like Harvest Fund and Southern Fund are leveraging Hong Kong subsidiaries to apply for Bitcoin ETFs. You know, I want to see this happen. I don't want to see any turmoil. I just want to see it happen. Be nice, smooth. I'm happy. This will give another huge boost to Bitcoin, especially if other parts of the world kind of follow this ETF trend. That's so much more money. That's so much more money being spent on Bitcoin. And by the time all of this stuff happens, it's going to be after the halving. You know, it's not like there's going to be so much Bitcoin out there that all these people can buy it. No, that's what makes it so beautiful. Now, I don't know who these people are going to be partnering with. You know, are they going to be partnering with Coinbase like BlackRock and all the other ETFs did? Or are they going to be going through a Chinese version of Coinbase? You never know. But there's only so much Bitcoin. Everybody's going to want some. Everybody wants a piece of that pie. It's going to drive everything up quite a bit. So even if Bitcoin does hit 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 million, whatever it ends up being, it'll happen sooner than hopefully the collapse of any financial system out there. Why are the people saying altcoin season will last into fall? You know, I think that's honestly, personally, just because of what happened in 2021, people saw altcoin season happen in fall. You know, another big rally in Bitcoin also happened in fall. So I think they're just trying to say, you know, it happens every fall. That's when everything's going to be good. Honestly, I don't know when altcoin season is going to happen. I'll know when I see it. But right now, I'm just dollar cost averaging and buying some stuff and things like that. So when it does happen, I'll be making so much money that I don't care when I sell, right? I always bring up Dogecoin because this channel was founded on Dogecoin. But I was happy, extremely happy to sell my Dogecoin at 50 cents. I was happy to sell it at 60 cents and even 70 cents. I know I wanted it to go up higher. Everybody wanted to go up higher to $1, $2, whatever it ended up going up to, like 70 something cents. But you guys are going to be happy selling your coins far away from the tippy tops, right? If you're lucky, you'll be able to sell some at the top, you know, if you're lucky. But for me, I'm happy to sell anywhere towards the top level. You can go back in time, you know, looking at Ethereum, any real asset out there, you know. And the scheme of things with Ethereum, aren't you guys happy that you were able to sell some over here, some over here, some over here? Even if you guys didn't get these like tip top levels, because you guys were able to buy down here. What I'm always afraid of is when everything is really busy, a lot more people come on board, the people that are usually coming on board and watching my streams, let's say a month or 2 months from now, they might not be the people that bought over here. They may be the people that bought over here, and they're hoping for something like Ethereum to go up like this, and they want to sell over here. That's typically not how it works. This is why, you know, I was streaming every day for the most part in 2022, you know, and I had like maybe 50 to 100 people watching me, most like 50, even 25, even 5 people, no, not 5, but you know, like 50 to 100 people at times watching me, because again, it was very, very boring. Nothing was happening. Very, very depressing type stuff. And of course, views picked back up kind of in 2023 and so forth. But over here, I could show you guys this data actually. 2023, no. Custom 2022, 2022. All right. You see how my subscribers went from 59,000 all the way down to 58,000? Now, again, you know, it's not like I lost a bunch, don't get me wrong, but that kind of tells you how the views were doing, and they just were not doing very, very well. In July of 2022, I don't exactly know what happened in July of 2022. See this little pump? People start coming back. But that's kind of like tells you like, most people don't like to buy in these zones. It's all like a long-term investment. People hate it. I typically love to buy over here so I can be happy. I'm happy to sell right here because at this point in time with my Ethereum, let's see, my average is down here around $1,300. Not all the way down here at 900 or 1,000, just $1,300. You know, I'm up 182% on my Ethereum. I'm okay with selling some off right now. For me personally, I'm going to be selling, not now, I'm going to be selling probably when it clicks closer to all-time highs. I'm going to, like I said, shave off like, you know, 5-10%, and I'll be fine with that. Now, I expect Ethereum to rally up a lot more than that. That being said, I'm still shaving some off just as a common courtesy to myself to say, hey, you've locked in profits. A lot of influencers in the space will typically just keep on hyping you up because it means more money in their pocket. You know, there are a few, like we talk about Crypto Life or Crypto Space and stuff like that, where they can hype you up, but they're realistic. So you're just excited about making money, but you're not blinded by greed, unless you are, okay. No matter who the influencer, you can be blinded by greed, but you get the point I'm trying to say. They're not being irresponsible about how they teach you guys and how they're talking with you guys about technical analysis and stuff like that. So, you know, it's usually a pretty good way to go about it. But hopefully that kind of explains how chaotic this can be and why typically when I start saying I'm looking to sell this and this and this, like, you know, I'm happy to sell 5% of, you know, some assets. That's the reason why, because for me, a lot of those assets are up a lot higher. And that was just Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those altcoins that, you know, a lot lower markups, they have obviously gone up a whole lot more than Bitcoin and Ethereum over the last few days or last few years. Oh my God, years. Oh my God. We just been talking about this forever. Oh my God. See, I get into a rant, my cigar goes out, and then I just feel like, well, actually, good reasons to drink some water here. There we go. There we are. Go ahead. And hey, again, but happy to see you, man. We beat Hong Kong to Bitcoin. When Hong Kong money gets in there, I'm gonna be excited. I really want to see Chinese money go into Bitcoin. It'll be absolutely fantastic because again, they have to buy up Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin against the yen and stuff like that. It's going to be kind of crazy. Actually, can I find that out? No. No, it's the yuan. Wait. Okay, Bitcoin to the CNY. Is that what it is? Chinese renminbi. I suck at my R's. Renminbi yuan. Okay. Last 5 years. You can see how it's still going up higher. No, it's still going up for them as well. So I'm pretty excited about all that. Whoosh, look at that. Beautiful. No matter what currency you're looking at, beautiful. They say October, November, December is when alts really explode. I mean, typically, yeah. I just think we're so ahead of schedule this cycle. That's kind of my fear. We've moved up so fast and we haven't even had the halving. The halving is what, this, wait a second. So we got 10 days. This'll do. So we're on the 8th right now, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 18th, okay? The 18th is when we should have the halving, and maybe the 17th we'll have to see. I hope it's not the 17th, because remember, from the 13th to the 17th, I'm going to be in Vegas with Opus Clip to help them promote their product at the National Association of Broadcasters Expo. So I'm gonna be there for the whole, that's 4 days, 5 days. Damn, 5 days. I like Vegas, guys, but 5 days in Vegas is a long time because you guys know how to have good food. Splurge even a little bit on some fancier food. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner 5 times. Now, on the 17th, the last day, I'll probably have food at the airport. That may only cost me like 25 bucks, a beer and a hamburger. The 13th, I fly out at 6 o'clock in the morning. So actually my grandparents are driving me out because they're awesome. So I might get a free McDonald's and a coffee from them. Once I get there, I may start drinking beer at 6. Oh no, my flight leaves at 6. I don't think the restaurants are open that early. So when I get to Vegas, I probably, oh no. What do you call? I got first class. What am I talking about? They got free food on the plane, and I get free alcohol on the plane. I'll be drinking at 6:30 in the morning. Oh yeah, I'm not an alcoholic, I promise, but I love to drink in the morning. It's great, and the only chance I get to do that is when I'm on a plane. I normally don't. Well, how much do I drink? I usually only drink about 4 shots a week, which is pretty respectable, I would say. Sometimes no shots, but on average, I'd say 4 shots a week. It's basically 4 drinks. Basically, when I go to hang out with my friends at the cigar lounge, you buy 2 drinks, you go twice a week, 4 drinks. Crypto Lifer? Hey, Mattis, I like Crypto Lifer because that dude is grinding. Like, I'm subscribed to his channel. I get pings every freaking few hours. That guy is live. He's live. I'm much more of an evening streamer myself. I will wake up normally between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. I used to be much more of a morning guy. I really don't like streaming in the morning because my views are complete shit. I've never found a way to get a lot of views in the morning myself. I know people can do it. I'm not that good at it. In the evening, less competition, much more slower atmosphere. I don't have to kind of track all the news going throughout the day. We can all hang out at the end of the day and I'm like, here's the news of what happened today. We can talk about it. I don't like to be, move towards breaking news and stuff like that. Not at all. When you sell your profits, does it change your average? Typically no, but on certain exchanges it may. It usually only messes with your average when you're buying into it. And it kind of depends on how your exchange is selling off the tokens. Most of the time, you guys don't have to worry about the average. You could say that, hey, I bought it 10 bucks, I bought it 20 bucks, I'm selling at 50 bucks. When you sell, your average should still be the same. Nothing is really changing there because the price is higher. If you were to, how do you say this in a non-crazy way? if you were to have two separate trades, I guess, of Matic with two different leverages, perhaps I would change it. But typically, no, it doesn't mess with it. If you add more to the position, yeah, it'll change the leverage on that. But typically, no, it's not going to change the leverage when you sell off your tokens or something like that. That's I mean, I scale all the time. It doesn't affect the average that way. In theory, it could, but the way exchanges do it, it doesn't. You know, like I dollar cost average into my trades. I could, yeah, it won't adjust it there. The exchanges don't do it like that. They sell based off of the average, so the average stays the same. Hey, 3-piece. A little bit, yeah. The price of the halving has already been kind of priced into the market a little bit. Yes, it has. That's typically why we see some type of a dump kind of around that time. However, what follows the halving is that supply crunch. That's more of a fundamental issue, and that's where you start to see everybody kind of buy in. Not enough Bitcoin, so the price of Bitcoin rises due to the lack of supply and an increased amount of demand, and that's what kind of pushes us higher. So yeah, you could say that we're already priced in for the halving, but we're not priced in for that supply shock because the supply is still there at this point in time. Sure, it's not as much as we would want from a supply shock, you know, because we haven't hit the halving yet, but once that halving happens, yeah, there'll be a huge supply shock for it. I think we're all trained for that, actually. Hey, Dino, I usually don't like to buy into the miners whatsoever. If you're going to buy into something, usually just buy into MicroStrategy. That's typically what I'd prefer. But the miners, you know, they're for day trading and scalping and doing some options plays on them for sure. But as far as just, you know, holding them for like a week to 2 weeks, it's just never been my thing. Too much volatility in them, and I really just don't want to be caught in a miner over the weekend or after hours. That's really the thing I don't like about the miners. The volatility, because, you know, Bitcoin's volatile. If I want to trade something volatile, hold something, I'd rather just hold Bitcoin over the miners. In fact, if you wanted to put, you know, side by side, right? Monthly chart to Bitcoin's monthly chart. You know, I know which one I'd rather be holding, right? So for me, you know, I'm just much more of a might as well hold the underlying asset. What I prefer. Some people like to do the miners, but it's just more of the day trading with options mentality for me. Nice and simple. Do we think gold can reach $3,000 in the end of the year? Perhaps if things start to get a little bit more dicey. Perhaps. Gold has been breaking out. It's been going higher. I'm very happy with it. I own gold, but, you know, 40% chance, I would say, unless something really crazy happens. Hey, Code. A little bit, yeah, we are being propped up a little bit right now, but that's just because we broke out. There's people taking some profits right now, but the majority of people, there's just not enough volume, and we're just slowly coming back down. It's nothing crazy at this point in time, but yeah, there we go. Right here. Mostly just a breakout with a slight bit of support. Bears don't really want to go all in right now because we've just broken out. They're afraid of what happens with CPI. I think you're going to see a lot more volatility tomorrow, though. Short squeeze? We've already squeezed a little bit. If we were, it'd most likely be tomorrow evening or even maybe closer to tomorrow midday, but not sometime tonight. MicroStrat's falling a bit. Oh yeah, what do you call? They got hit with what do you call a negative? What do you call those things? I hate what they are, but what is it called? Why are you frozen? what are they called? Oh, analyst downgrade. There you go. So if I go over to, oh, it hasn't shown up here. Okay, well, they got hit by one of these guys with an analyst downgrade on them, saying a bunch of negative stuff and so forth, and that's been causing the price to come down a little bit. Overall, I think if Bitcoin rallies back up, MicroStrategy will be going back up, but it's just kind of a way to dollar cost average. But I like the fact that MicroStrategy over time has been going up. That's the thing. Miners, a little bit more iffy, right? See. Any clue? I think if I have time, I am going to try to hang out with people in Vegas. I got the calendar today, so I'm not entirely sure if I have time, but I can look at it later on today. Like, I just got the calendar for the what I'm supposed to be doing. So honestly, I have no idea as of yet. But I'm hoping I have time to hang out with some people here. Maybe if it's on that first Saturday or something, I'm not entirely sure, but I am hoping. Oh, God, my fucking ear. But okay. I'm going to end the stream right here. There's a chance I can go live later on tonight if everything is still looking pretty good. If we're having a pretty big move, I'll be going live. If we're crashing, I'll have a live. If we're kind of going steady Eddie, I'm going to take a rest just because my ear is still in pain. I was hoping my ear would be a little bit better by today, but it really isn't. My right ear is muffled, but still doing fine. My left ear is just in pain. So I'm hoping that if I take some Tylenol, it should be able to kind of fix it up a little bit. But the gist of things is, guys, Bitcoin broke out. We're doing fine. We broke out. We're in a little bit of a flag. We're trying to see an opportunity to break out. Not break out and go sky high here. Maybe that happens tomorrow. But at least for tonight, break out, go sideways, and start gearing up for that larger move. That larger move, because of where we are, can definitely take us up to all-time highs. So this is going to be the beginning of a much larger move with Bitcoin up until Wednesday. And if we have lower than expected CPI, or maybe even just 3.4% CPI, inflation rate, we can see a large move happening with Bitcoin and everything being very, very happy. Everything that we're doing now needs to be followed by good news from inflation on Wednesday, Thursday. So CPI on Wednesday, PPI on Thursday, and then jobs report on Friday. That's really what you guys are going to need to have happen in order to see a really robust move where Bitcoin's breaking $80,000 by the end of Saturday, okay? So hope you guys all have a good night, and if something big is happening tonight, I will be live. If something big is happening, I'll be sleeping because I need to rest my freaking ear. I had this bad habit of sleeping on my left-hand side, so I think this is why this ear is so much more messed up than it should be. So have a good night, everybody, and I hope to see you guys soon.